So he came back, and instead of feeling relieved, you feel shaky, your heart jumps, your ego lights up, start to sneak in. Maybe I mattered after all. Well, let's talk about why men come back and why it's almost never what you think it does. All right, let's get. Ladies, hey, I am Laquana McIntyre. Welcome to the Solo Woman Collective. I help women rebuild the identity that kept choosing the wrong men. I'm not gonna hold you, okay? Like, this video may sting a little bit, okay? Because I know you think that, when he came back, he really meant it, and you that girl, and you different from the other women, and oh, I just knew it. I knew he wanted me like that, and I knew I put it on him. But nah, that is not always the case, okay? And let's get into why it is not a flex a lot of times, and why, again, that's not always the case. So first, let me go ahead and say this clearly, okay? Men coming back is actually common, ladies, okay? Men, that's a common trait for them to spin the block. So that's not rare, and it's not proof of him growing either. Most men, they don't come back because they suddenly realized your worth. I'm not saying that that's not possible, but I mean, that's more than likely not. They come back because you were simply familiar. Because when things got quiet in their life, when the new situation didn't hit like they thought it would, when life reminded them that connection actually does take effort, then that's when they want and to decide to start reaching for what it already knew, okay? Which is you. Because growing is uncomfortable. So again, that does not mean that he's changed. It simply just meant that he was uncomfortable. And here's the part that nobody tells you. When a man does come back without accountability, without clarity being lined up, without changed behavior, I'm gonna be honest, sis, he's not choosing you. He's choosing the relief. And that relief is not, it does not equal commitment. Now let's talk about why it may feel like a win to you. Because the moment that he does come back, something in you thinks, see, I wasn't the crazy one. Or see, I did matter. Or see, he couldn't forget me. But here's the truth, and I'm gonna say this gently, okay? I'm gonna hold your hands a little bit. Being hard to forget is not the same as being chosen. Ladies, a man can miss you and still not be safe for you. He can come back and he can still offer the same confusion, the same inconsistency, the same emotional breadcrumbs. So if he left you anxious the first time, him returning does not magically make him steady. And this is where identity comes in. So whenever your identity is still tied to being considered a chosen woman, his return is going to feel like validation, like you are the woman for him, or you are a good woman. But when your identity is already grounded, his return is just going to become information for you. So you're going to stop asking, does this mean something? And you're going to start asking, what has actually changed? Yes, that's when you're going to pay attention to patterns. You're not going to look at what he says, or not how emotional he sounds, not how nostalgic the moment feel, but his pattern, like I was saying, because men don't change in the moment. They change in structure. So if he came back with no plan, come on, ladies, we got to stop doing this. No plan, no accountability. I'm talking about like just he wants to come back like a clean slate, no consistency. Oh my gosh, that's the biggest one. Then that was not a win. That was not a win. Like, that was simply just a test. And the real win isn't him coming back. The win is actually you being able to pause in that moment instead of folding and taking him back. So if he comes back, here are 3 things I want you to do before you respond to it. You need to hear these. Number 1, I want you to pause longer than your emotions want to. I know this is so hard, okay, because we start to get this heavy feeling in our chest. You start to feel these butterflies. You feel it in your throat, like it's like it sits on your spirit. And before you know it, boom, you take him back. But if you simply let this ride out past those butterflies and that heavy feeling in your chest, I promise you that feeling will subside. So you gotta let this feeling sit past your emotion. I want to be clear too, this is not to play games or seem like you're unbothered, but this is just so you can let your body settle. If it feels urgent, it's usually not the right thing to do. It's simply adrenaline. So I want you to give yourself some time to come back into your body before you come back into that conversation. Number 2, look for the patterns now. The patterns are huge. Don't listen to what he's saying. The promises. Do not get hypnotized by words. I'm a stickler for this. I think this is the hardest thing with us ladies, getting gotten by words. And that is why there are so many men out here who's learned to master their words and their mouthpiece without action, because they've seen it work and it works for them every single time. So I don't want you to get softened by nostalgia either. Don't do that neither, because that's another one. All you need to do is ask yourself one question clearly. What's different this time? Consistently, okay? Not just one time, but consistently. Not what does he feel or what he's saying, but what is he actually doing? If nothing has changed, the outcome will not either. Nothing has changed. The outcome, the end goal is going to be the same. Number 3, I want you to decide from identity and not your emotion. Ask yourself this and be honest. Does engaging with him move me closer to the woman I'm becoming, or back into the version of me that was always waiting? So you don't need to explain. You don't need to announce your growth. You don't need to prove your strength. All you need, lady, is just alignment over familiarity. Because the real power move isn't him coming back. It's you knowing whether he still fits in your life. And if you do the work, I'm gonna tell you 9 times out of 10, when he tries to come back, he's already disqualified, because you now look at him in a different light. You're no longer the girl that aligned with the man that you're no longer aligned with the man that he is currently, because you're now here. He's still there. He hasn't grown. So listen, baby, we have nothing to talk about. I'm no longer attracted to you. All right, so I want you to pause for a second. Let whatever landed land, okay? If this video challenged you in any kind of way, I want you to hit the subscribe button, because here I talk about this. We don't teach feelings. We do talk about identity. If you're done letting your emotions run your decision, it's time for you to start with the 7-day survival reset. It is still a wait list, because I am making sure that this is done to perfection. I'm putting my raw emotion into this product. But in the meantime, make sure that you remember identity over emotion every time. I'll see you in the next video.